objectives that we were working on for the week, which was working on asking and answering questions, using context clues, point of view, and central message. And the one that transfers over to the following week is using context clues as we move into Snow Walker, and main idea as well. So, kind of like, where are you guys, or how are your students doing?
Today we finished Anna Gramba in the big storm, and then we went over the different point of view. So we compare Gramba's point of view from the beginning at the end, Anna's point of view from the beginning at the end, in specific situations in the book, and then what was their personal point of view compared to that.
We also finished reading today. Throughout the whole story, we were working on context clues, so I feel like my students have a better understanding of how to use context clues to figure out unknown words, and they were doing a really good job of, as we were reading, they would ask questions if they didn't know what a word meant and kind of work together to use the text to figure out what those words meant.
We like drawing pictures and writing a sentence using the word again, so that kind of slowed us down a bit. Point of view, I think they have a good, with that, yes. But in terms of understanding the story, the words, the vocabulary was what I had to spend more time with.
I had the same thing in my classroom. We spent a lot of time on vocabulary. And the organizer, I think that you made for it, or the one where you have to define it, then
Yeah, we use a lot of that, yeah.
yeah, and a picture to match, and the context of the sentence being pulled out. My kids, we move a lot slower, so
Right,
like
yeah.
they actually had trouble like using context clues within the sentence, that I had to like give them the whole paragraph,
Right.
and then like try to make sense of what was going on. So
Yeah. I also use that opportunity to break up words because a lot of the word had either the end in the ES or historically, the way it's used, and say that's fine, or the base word or the root word.
Irma and I are only halfway through the book, but we did spend a good chunk of the time introducing historical fiction and kind of like how to find evidence of historical fiction in the book, so that like asking and answering questions about what makes the book historical fiction. And we're gonna do, I don't know if you guys have done the Twitter idea yet, but I made a Padlet, and I can share it with you guys, but we're gonna probably assign like chapters to different groups of kids and then have them write a point of view of Anna and Grandpa in those. So I can share that.
One thing that also helped my classroom with the context clue was reading the story, kind of like what we did for reader night. Like we sat there and I made them do like the gestures of like cleaning the window and looking inside, and that really helped them visualize and feel like putting themselves in the shoes of the characters as well for later on help point of view.
share a little bit about what next week will look like. We start with main idea. What are we looking for? Are we looking for them comparing historical elements, or just elements of the story?
I think we can do both since it's based on the same blister. It could be the elements of historical fiction, and that way also they will notice that the blister is the same, but the so that's the historical part, but the characters are made up by the author, so that is the fiction part, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll also have to go over literary nonfiction now, since it is a slightly different genre. So they will have to compare like historical fiction versus literary nonfiction.
Oh, okay, that is true.
One of the things I want to spend some time with too, in that book would be, because it's a good one to lead into that, event and action. Event, action, like what the character decides to do next and why. Yeah, so that's something that I would be focusing on.
So that we're still focusing on the objective that we were working on this week, within next week, even though we're shifting gears a little bit. And one thing that we did in my class, like they started answering comprehension questions, but they started doing it with like if it said why was grandpa upset during his arrival at the house or something, they were just like he missed his house. So they're not writing like incomplete sentences.
Right, yeah.
So Christy taught a TTQA lesson based on like, turn the question around, have you guys heard of that?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did
that's how I was
TTQA,
taught
yeah.
it, so maybe that'd be something to consider. I don't know if your students are answering incomplete sentences, but that's like a weakness in my class. So, I can share that with you guys too, but it's just a TTQA based
Yeah.
on things about them though. So it's not about the text just yet, but it's really helped my students when answering comprehension questions. And then, Christy had them circle or like underline the words that were used in the question in their answer as well.